Colors. 1987, I guess it was. I played a character called High Top. And, you know, I was working with Robert Duvall, and I could tell you, ooh. I mean, there were moments in that movie that really kind of freaked me out because, well, to begin with, they said that they weren't hiring any actors. That was the first thing they did. We're not hiring any actors. I met him at a party at my agency, and I remember him talking about this movie he had written. Yeah, you look like you could be in my movie. But we not, you know, I don't think they're gonna hire any actors. That's what he said. So I remember they were having auditions down at Lionsgate Studios, right? Yeah. And I remember I went, okay, they're not hiring any actors. Let me see what I can do, right? So, you know, and I knew about Crips and Bloods and everything down here, but they had never seen the gangsters that hang out in Richmond, California. They knew nothing about those kind of gangsters. They knew about these gangsters down here. They didn't know nothing about those gangsters. So I put on my blue jeans, and I put on my Stacey Adams, and I put on my leather blazer and a T-shirt. And I remember I had this little leather, like, it wasn't a fedora. It was a, you know, one of them little hats. And I put that on, and I had my shades on, and I didn't take a resume with me. And I remember I went down to the audition, and I'm sitting out in the lobby, and I took my boy Jeff with me. And I remember walking in there going, yo, yeah, I heard y'all was making a movie or something. I didn't say yo, because I didn't even know yo back then. But anyway, I went down there with my little Richmond gangster, you know, whatever. And I walked in there, you know, and sat down with Sean Penn and Dennis Hopper. And I remember sitting there, and Sean Penn was sitting back in the corner, and Dennis was sitting over there. And they was talking to me, and I was talking to them. And you know, I was like, yeah, you know, whatever, you know, y'all talking about. Because I don't give a fuck about none of that, you know what I'm saying? It's like whatever it is what it is, you know what I mean? Whatever. No, we used to say, you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? That's what we used to say, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And so I'm, you know, jibbing at these cats like that. And I remember, you know, just looking at Sean Penn like, you know, like you know, what the fuck you looking at, man? Why you sitting over there looking at me like, you know what I mean? What the fuck are you looking at? And he was sitting over there smiling and shit. And I remember Dennis Hopper, you know, after I got through talking to him, I don't remember like the things we were saying to each other. Long story short, Dennis Hopper turns to Sean Penn and says, so what do you think? You think we should put this dude in our movie? And he was like, yeah, man, yeah. He's like, okay, you're going to either play one or two characters. You're going to play like Rocket or you're going to play High Top. And I was like, all right, that's cool, whatever. And then I remember going, but yo, check this out, right? My boy's sitting outside. He want to part in your movie too. What's up with that, right? And you know, because my friend Jeff was with me, and we lived together. And he was like, oh, you got a friend outside? I was like, yeah, I got a friend outside. He was like, oh, bring him in. So I went outside, and I got my boy Jeff. And Jeff was, you know, I mean, by no means a gangster at all. But I remember just, you know, when Dennis Hopper asked Sean Penn, what do you think about that dude? And Sean Penn was like, well, I was like, you know what I mean, man, if he ain't in it, I ain't in it. So y'all better make up y'all mind. We getting out of here, right? So they gave him a part 2. And believe it or not, when I walked out of there, Lauren Lloyd, who was the casting director of that movie, she came up to me and she said, you know what, I want to talk to you. I'm going to call you later. And then like a couple days later, she called me up and said, hey, do you know anybody else that we can put in this film? Right? And I sent Don Cheadle and Bruce Beatty down to that audition.